What's up now? So listen, I want y'all to be very careful about how you observe people and what you observe about people and what your interpretation of certain people. Because we coming in a time, right, where and it's always been about this time the last 40 years where good people are hard to find. And I don't want you to confuse nobody with nobody else. A lot of times, when people are quiet, regardless of what you are saying or doing to them, that doesn't mean they're weak. That doesn't mean they're a coward. That might just mean that they're more stronger than you and you weak and you carry the weight of a little child and you don't really know what you're doing and they know that later on it's going to catch up to you. Just because someone doesn't want to fight you doesn't mean that they're afraid of you. Maybe they grew up with you and they just don't see things how you see things and they don't want to fight you. They're not scared of you. You know, just because, somebody you did something vicious or malicious to somebody and they didn't seek retaliation, that doesn't mean that they're afraid to seek retaliation. They just know that God is going to handle that. I just want y'all to start being careful about the way you perceive people that's trying to be in your corner and that's trying to ride for you, because there's a lot of misinterpretations going on about, just because somebody doesn't display the type of action or reaction that you are looking for. Some people, I've seen some videos where people will let people push them 4 and 5 times and slap beer out their hand and mash their head on a damn bar and all of this shit, and they still wouldn't move until they finally hit that one trigger, and then they got their ass beaten, had to get hauled and carried out the place to the hospital and the jail next. I just want you to be careful about the forces that you don't know what you reckon with. Just because people don't want to fight you or don't want to do anything to you, these are people that's under certain type of laws, whether that be cosmic law, spiritual law, physical law with the police. A lot of times when people have things to lose, they don't want to lose anything, and they always get provoked by people that got everything to lose. But just because a person doesn't react and you get the title of running around telling people that people is a punk because you punched them or you slapped them and they didn't react. They might have didn't react for a good reason, because if they had reacted, they might would have killed your ass if they had to react. You don't know what other people's reactions are if they have to react. I've had to react a couple of times when I didn't want to react. I didn't want to embarrass nobody and beat nobody down that had a good name. I was trying to save them. But they wasn't trying to save me. They wanted another notch up under their belt until they fucked around and got the notch up under my motherfucking belt. I'm just saying, if you got a guy that really likes you and he's providing for you and he's helping you watch your kids, don't perceive of him being weak or being a punk, or you can use him for a ride or for gas money and this and that just because he's helping you. Maybe he just has that type of heart. I just want to go down this lane here because a lot of people are getting a lot of things confused. Who you think is the punks is really not the punks. Who you think is hard is the punks. I'm just trying to say, if a person got enough patience that long, enough perseverance that long to let you use them, you better believe in the spiritual realm, they ain't nothing nice. And if they get to unleash it, your ass gonna be the first one they unleash on, and you ain't gonna be able to stand a day of it. I'm just saying, stop taking people kindness for weakness or think you can do what you want to do to people, because after a while, you know what's going to happen? people gonna start pushing back. And it ain't the type of pushing back you've been looking for. People been holding on to a lot of shit a long time. A lot of people in the word trying to obey, trying to do the right thing, this and that. Everybody ain't scared of your motherfucking ass. I know I ain't. Fuck around, see your ass be up. Let me.